Once again, here's Matt.
All right, Natalie, thanks. From the battle over immigration to a White House staff shuffle, it's been a pretty busy week in Washington politics, and those issues, of course, were battled out over the airwaves. Al Franken is host of the Al Franken Show on Air America Radio, celebrating a second anniversary today, so congratulations. And Michael Smerconish is a radio talk show host at Philadelphia station WPHT and author of Muzzled, From T-Ball to Terrorism, True Stories that Should Be Fiction. It comes out today, so congratulations to both of you. Nice to have you here.
Good to be here.
Al, let's start with you. Let's talk about immigration legislation, deep division in the country, protests all over the place, division within the parties over this. I don't want to battle out the specifics of what should happen at the border, but I do want to ask you what you think the political fallout from this is going to be and how it's going to affect the midterm elections.
I think that the division inside the Republican Party that's been much talked about does reflect a division in the country as a whole. And I'm not sure how this is going to play out in the midterms. I hope that we don't rush this legislation, and I think we've been in California all week and talking a lot about this and trying to talk about a rational immigration policy where we hope that there's some kind of guest worker program that treats guest workers fairly, that gets guest workers toward citizenship if they behave like citizens, but also protects American workers.
What's the exposure to the Democratic Party here, Al? I mean, so much talk about division within the Republican Party, but the Democrats have seen erosion in their support from the Hispanic community in the last couple of election cycles. So how much risk is there?
Well, actually, I think that is the political aspect that a lot of people focus on, which is the sort of draconian legislation that was passed in the House. You saw what the reaction was from Hispanics around the country, and I think that'll hurt the Republican Party's efforts in years, in the past couple of years, to move Hispanics toward Republicans.
Michael,
I think there are other tensions. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Michael, Reverend Luis Cortez, who's a prominent Hispanic clergyman, went to the White House last week. He said to the president, I want you to know that this issue has already hurt the Republican Party. How much damage do you think has been done?
I think a tremendous amount of damage has been done. And, Matt, to me, this is another Dubai port deal in the makings. And by that, I mean, I think the administration is completely out of touch with its base. This morning, the Pew Research folks say that more than half of Americans say no, they should be sent home. Talk about muzzled. We refer to these folks as undocumented. I mean, undocumented to me is a guy who leaves for work without his wallet. They're here illegally. And the solution that the administration has come up with is to say, you can stay. Why don't we do that with all illegal conduct?
So how's it going to play out?
I think it's going to play out terribly for the administration because I believe that the Republican base wants no part of whatever you want to call it, a guest program, amnesty, or just waving the white flag and saying you can stay. What I'm concerned about is the linkage between border control and what we're going to do with the 11 or 12 million. I think what we should do is close the porous borders now and then address what we're going to do with the 11 or 12 million folks.
Al, there was a mini shakeup at the White House this week. Andy Card, 5.5 years as chief of staff, out. Was he shown the door? And if so, is change good?
He was exhausted. I think he's been exhausted since pretty much since day one, because the arsenic. Because you know they're pointing to lousy decisions made recently, but they've been making lousy decisions since pretty much. I think they just stayed too late at the first inaugural and never got.
Well, is the change good? Do you think?
And Bolton.
Does this help the White House?
No, I mean, they bring in Bolton, who's even more exhausted. Yeah, I think they should just fire these guys in order of exhaustion. I think Rumsfeld's real tired.
Michael, Josh Bolton is new to the job, not new to the administration.
Right.
Former deputy chief of staff, budget director. The critics say no new blood, not outside the comfort zone here.
Yeah, Al sounds a little exhausted to me this morning. I wish I were out with him last night. You got to bring an outsider, somebody who's in touch with the American people.
It's 4:11 a.m. It's 4 in the morning.
Somebody who's willing to say to the president,
Screw you. I got up at 4 in the morning.
Somebody who needs to say to the president, are you kidding me? Arabs in control of the ports? Are you kidding me? 11 or 12 million folks here illegally, and you're going to give them the white flag and allow them to be here? Someone outside the administration needs to rattle the cage. That's what has to happen.
Can I say something about this 11 million here illegally, and are you going to show them
Quickly,
the
Al.
white flag? I think we've got to make the law reflect reality and reality reflect the law. I know that Smerconish is what was it, Apache? I'm you know, I'm Ojibwe. My name Franken means yells at fox in Ojibwe.
All right, Al, Michael, guys, let's call it right there. Memo to self. From now on, Franken, only on the East Coast. Only on the East Coast. Al, thanks for getting up early. Michael, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Matt. Good to be here.
That's what time it is here. It's
7:18. Turn his mic off. Back to Natalie.